From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Yet another beautiful day across the area with lots of sunshine and warm temperatures. Current readings upper 70s to around 80 degrees, but more importantly, still very few clouds out there, and that will begin to change over the next 24 hours. A few other numbers around the region: Muskegon at 81 degrees, Mount Pleasant 74, Detroit 79. Just looking gorgeous all across the Lower Peninsula today. Well, the UP as well. In the western UP, we've seen some clouds move in, and that's what's in store for us over the next 24 hours as a really weak storm system moves in. No rain expected, but you definitely will notice the clouds beginning tomorrow morning. For tonight, we'll continue with mostly clear skies, and with the dry air mass in place, that does mean cool temperatures, as readings again will fall into the lower 50s through early tomorrow morning. We've still got more warm weather on the way, but the long range, big changes to talk about. 6 News at 6 starts right now.
WLNS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at 6.
The deadline to get a deal finalized for a state budget is now just hours away, and work continues to get it done. It's our top story at 6. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jorma Duran.
And I'm Siobhan Klepfer. State lawmakers have until 11:59 tonight to pass the budget, but Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer told state employees to show up to work tomorrow because she expects a state budget or continuation deal to be passed by the deadline.
Our Capitol correspondent Tim Skubic is live at the Capitol following today's events. Tim, what do you know?
The shutdown clock has been shut down. State government will continue through tomorrow, so says Governor Gretchen Whitmer and her 2 legislative leaders, Senate Democratic Leader Brinks and House Speaker Matt Hall. They've not completed their work on the budget, but they promise in a press release that they'll do that for the rest of this week. The governor tipped her hand earlier this afternoon when she issued a memo to basically the unions across the state saying, send your workers to the job tomorrow because we're going to fix this thing and there will be no shutdown. State Senator Ed McBroom says that's good news.
I think it's good news. I think it shows just how close we are at this point to reaching a final deal, getting all the details worked out, and there's no reason to inconvenience the people of Michigan over us waiting on printing.
Did you ever get a briefing on what's in this thing yet?
Well, we've had, I think, 3 or 4 briefings in the last week that, continue to evolve as each day goes by, and more muscle is added to the bone of this plan. But I think we're having another meeting later tonight and hear how things went today.
So we know for sure that the government will not be shut down at midnight tonight. We're not sure how the governor is going to accomplish keeping the government open. There are a couple of options: an executive order that she would sign unilaterally, but also there could be a resolution through the legislature, and the press release that they issued doesn't address that issue. So it's a little bit of a loose end. But the bottom line is, for state workers and for people that get state services, the shop's open tomorrow morning. Back to you guys.
Capitol correspondent Tim Skubic, thank you very much. Well, it has now been 90 days since the deadline passed for lawmakers to approve a K-12 budget, leaving schools and students in limbo.
Today at the Capitol, community members showed up to tell lawmakers they need to pass a state school budget now. Our
Kylie Shapansky was there. She's here for you now live in studio with what school supporters are saying. Kylie.
Without a budget, advocates and administrators say schools haven't been able to fund some of their essential programs or hire staff needed to support students. As we reported earlier this month, some districts are even having to take out loans and are having to pay tens of thousands of dollars worth of interest, impacting the long-term financial health of those districts. I spoke with Tali Ferris-Hyland, a board member at East Lansing Schools. She says she's advocating for a state budget that doesn't cut from the school aid fund to pay for roads and other priorities.
I mean, it could just really mean a whole lot of loss, and we can't afford that in our public school systems. As I said when I spoke, we're ranked 49 out of 50 in funding. Michigan is, and the state is severely underfunded by like $4.5 billion, so we can't afford to lose any more.
If the state legislation fails to pass a budget and the government enters a shutdown, Ferris Highland says schools could be forced to lay off staff, end free school meals, and further close programs helping children.
All right, Kylie, thank you. Well, as for the impact a state shutdown could have, our 6 News Jackson Bureau reporter Sean Graney spoke with MSU experts and Jackson officials about what happens during a government freeze and what you need to know to be prepared.
While the city keeps moving, state government could soon be at a standstill, and officials say the shutdown could hit roads, paychecks, and other services fast.
This year has been quite unusual in terms of the budget process.
Time is running out for state lawmakers to come to an agreement on a finalized budget for the upcoming fiscal year. Director at MSU's Institute for Public Policy and Social Research, Arnold Weinfeld, says negotiations between the House and the Senate have been odd and inconsistent.
This is the first time in 14 years that we've gone this long, because usually the process is that the House and the Senate pass a budget.
Weinfeld says a stoppage would cause closures to historical state parks, Secretary of State offices, and all Michigan schools. Former Mayor of Jackson, Derek Doby, says he's worried Jackson schools would be hit particularly hard.
We still have a duty to educate children. We still have a duty to provide for the safety of our communities. So, governments, local governments are really strapped in terms of how to continue those essential services without that dedicated funding.
Weinfeld says if state services are to be paused, the governor's office needed to be more transparent weeks before tonight's deadline.
The governor should have sent off layoff notices. According to the union contracts, layoff notices are to go out 2 weeks before a shutdown occurs. We haven't seen those yet, but you can expect layoffs to occur.
Weinfeld says if you rely on state or federal assistance, stay in touch with your elected leaders to learn more about what could happen if a deal is not reached tonight at the Capitol. In Jackson for 6 News, I'm Sean Graney.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Well, I certainly love this time of the year. The apple cider temperature's getting a little cooler, and I get the coolest picks in all fall season, all the entire season long, just like this. This is an awesome shot from Sandy, and we don't have a lot of color, but Sandy certainly found some in Delta Township. We're going to see over the next few weeks those fall colors really start to ramp up, so be sure and send yours in as well. You can do that at WLNS.com/share. Should be a fun season indeed, especially with the warm temperature we've got, because it's not feeling like fall at all out there. Cooler weather tomorrow, mid-70s. The weekend, we're back in the mid-80s. There's some big changes next week, though, as high temperatures fall into the 60s, and here's the reason why. We're looking down at the North Pole. Here is the U.S. to the south, and these little dips, we call those troughs, and that's where we start to see some inclement weather, some rain showers, and perhaps some cooler weather. As we move through time, Wednesday, and then we head further out, you can see a little ridge to our east, and then another dip starts to form to our west. Now, of course, as we get closer to winter time, the polar vortex gets really active, and these dips can mean really nasty weather for us. But for this weekend, we start to watch this little dip pushing south. That's going to spawn an area of low pressure and a cold front, and that's going to usher in the cooler temperatures for next week and may keep them really locked in most of next week, so a bit of a pattern change on the way. Today we're watching some rain showers and some clouds to our west. Just so dry out there for us. I doubt we see anything more than cloud cover here. Tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock, partly cloudy skies, but beginning to cloud over, and we'll see mostly cloudy skies throughout the afternoon and the evening. Unfortunately, this area of cloud cover is moving pretty slowly, so probably most of Thursday stays mostly cloudy. Maybe we'll get a little more sunshine in the afternoon. We certainly will see a return to sun as we head into Friday and for the weekend. Current temperatures, we're in the upper 70s. Cool spot, St. John 75 degrees, otherwise 79 in Mason, 80 Jackson, 79 in Charlotte. We've got blue skies on the Capitol Cam. Our current temperature holding at 78 degrees. Wind gust today was up to 17 miles per hour, so a little bit more than yesterday. Beautiful color already in the sky in Grand Ledge. Current temp at 77 degrees. Little fall foliage in Jackson, also very pleasant. Not feeling like fall with a temperature of 80. And final stop in Hillsdale, notice Notice not a cloud in the sky. Temperature currently 79, calm winds, but a wind gust of 17. Tonight's forecast, your low temperature 52 degrees. That'll be on the cool side tomorrow morning, but we'll warm up quickly. Upper 60s at noon and low 70s by 5 o'clock. As we move closer to the weekend, get ready for summer to return. Highs in the 80s, lows near 60 Sunday and Monday morning. Changes move in Tuesday. Rain showers that last into Wednesday, and then we're more or less stuck in the 60s most of next week with some showers in the forecast next weekend as well.
So now we're left wondering, will we see the 80s again after this weekend?
You know, I mean, this pattern change looks to last for a while, and we are heading towards deeper fall and winter.
Right.
So I don't want to say we're done.
Well, but I want you to give me odds so I can bet. You know I'm a gambler. So.
30% chance we'll get another 80.
I'll put $10 down.
Yeah.
Probably
Good
two.
payout.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
I don't know who's paying me that.
Thank you.